Mike McCool here with the Royal Examiner. I'm on location today. We're at the Royal Plaza, but we're in a very unique store called Play Favorites. And with me is the proprietor, Mike Locke. He is started this thing a month or two, three ago. It seems like probably longer than that.
About two and a half months now.
2.5 months ago. So he's an entrepreneur that's done several projects like this in the past, he's told me. But this store is so unique. And Mike, I want you to tell us what you envision it, then I'll tell you what I think.
Sure. So we opened this store and I call it a place to shop and to play.
Yeah.
And the reason I do that is because so often kids go to toy stores and like it's a trip and it should be exciting, but you know that if it's not your birthday or you're not the one getting a present, then like it's kind of just a tease. Like you get to look at it, but you don't get to take anything home. So when I made this store, should I be looking at you or at the camera?
No, either way.
Okay. So when I made this store, I wanted it to be the kind of store where a kid can come here and even if you know, say, it's not my day to get anything, we're just looking or whatever, it's still exciting. So we have spread out throughout the store dozens of different toys, board games, construction toys, brain teasers, all sorts of things, and train tables, and kids are welcome to just come in here and play. We have families who stop in and maybe they're not getting anything or just a little thing, but the kids are still totally psyched to come because it's going to like a toy playground.
Exactly.
And then at the same time, we've also just got an awesome array of
They have
specialty
got-
toys and games.
You have got things. I kidded him. I kid Mike. I said, none of your games have any batteries, but I did find one over here that took a little tiny battery. But
Yep. There are a few. We have a couple of like retro arcade
yeah,
games
he has a
in
whole
there.
rack over here of retro games.
And if it's a science toy, like if you're building a motorized marble run,
Right.
or if you're something with electronic circuit building, then you'll have batteries. But otherwise, it's almost entirely analog.
It is. It's really cool, and he's got all sorts of things from the games that we grew up as kids, but also new and modern twist on like erector sets. But
Yep.
they're made with plastics and parts and all sorts of. I was looking at the boxes. We call those erector sets, but that's not what
Right.
they're called. Now they're called inventors or something.
Yeah,
What do they call those?
I think they're called Steelworks.
Yeah.
And Erector still exists, but
Yeah.
like there's so many different. It's the toy business and the toy industry, I guess you
Sure.
could say, has grown so much over decades
Right.
that now, whereas it used to be like there's one manufacturer and this is what they do, now for almost any given popular toy, you can find several variations of it being manufactured by several different companies.
One of the games I want to talk about is, he pointed this out to me. It's called Ticket to Ride. But look at this sticker down here, Mark. Look at that. 10 million copies of this game sold.
And
Can you imagine that?
That is only one version of Ticket to Ride.
Exactly.
There are probably a dozen different versions, and each one will have a sticker on it. 8 million, 6
Right,
million,
I see
5
one. This is
million.
the USA. This
Yep.
one's about Europe. But it's a unique game. I mean, kids of all ages play this thing.
Yeah, that's so call it hobby gaming, I
Hobby
guess.
game, right?
Meaning games that are not, like over here we have your classic games, Four in a Row, Stratego, Trouble, Guess Who.
Right.
Those are more your classic family games. But over the past 10, 15 years, hobby gaming has really, and certainly recently, especially with the current situation,
Sure.
where people are looking for like something new and entertaining to do. These games that are a little different, things that people might not have heard of, slightly more obscure, have really made inroads and become a lot more popular. And that's why a game like Ticket to Ride, which neither you nor I grew up with,
Right.
has a sticker on it that says 10 million copies, and the sequel sold 8 million
Right,
copies.
right. And it's not a $9 game, so.
No, and that's another thing. Like people are starting to see the value of games.
Right, right.
This is not the first toy store I opened. I used to manage a toy store back home in New Jersey, and
Right.
we had a magnificent board game selection. And some of those games got pretty pricey. And when I
Right.
started working there, I was like, man, it's going to be a hard sell to sell someone a board game for like $40, $50.
Right.
What happened was that eventually, like, one family bought it and loved it, and neighbors would go over to their house and start playing that game, and parents started realizing, like, hey, this is not just a board game that my kids are taking out when it's really rainy and there's nothing to do and I've taken away TV privileges for
Right.
a week. My kids are coming home from school and they want to play this game.
Right.
There's just something about them that makes them more engaging, and you just want to play them over and over again.
Right.
And at the same time, like a game like Ticket to Ride has tremendous educational value, you won't realize that you're learning. But I tell parents, like, if your kids play this game, you know, after 5 times, they will know the geography of the United States cold.
That's right.
And they won't even realize that they're picking it up while
Right.
they're playing, because it's so subsidiary to the actual enjoyment, or secondary to the enjoyment to the game itself.
Right. We don't want to call things educational because that kind of turns the kids off. But
Thank you.
you know, it's a ticket to learn. I mean, it's really kind of a cool game.
Yeah.
And there are just so many neat things in here. You've got. I just can't think of all the things you got. Books and animals and
It's
just.
Crafts, board
The only way
games,
you're going to
brain
know
teasers.
is to come down here and walk through it and check it out. I mean, am I right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And one thing I'm really proud of is, like you said, there's a lot of stuff, like, you wouldn't even know where to begin. There's just so much. I'm really proud of the fact that, like, even though there's so many unique things in store, it's a curated selection.
Right.
It's not like in a department store where there's a buyer who just buys from a catalog and then
Right.
it shows up on the shelf. Like, I personally have played with or scrutinized every game or toy or whatever it is before it shows up on the shelf.
Right.
And so if you come in and you're looking for a I won't say very specific product because you don't know what you're looking for,
Right.
but you're looking for something for a very specific person and you don't know what it is. If you tell me a little bit about the kid, about whoever, adult, I'm very confident, like, I can help guide you to the right game that's going to be a hit, or the right craft, or whatever it is that's just going to hit the mark.
Well, it is so cool. And Mike, it's great you brought something like this to our community, and we welcome you, and we hope that you're very successful, because this is the holiday season. And I think the one thing that I come to mind when we talk about some of these games is that these can be family oriented, and that's something I think everyone is striving to do, is to kind of get back into family. And
Yeah.
this time of kind of things shut down in restaurants, you know, we're not, our time is like, what are we going to fill the time with? And TV can be a little mindless. And of course, now the TV, there's not much new. I've seen that before. So let's pull out these games, right?
Yeah, I mean, the way a lot of people are seeing it now is so much of daily life is in front of a screen.
Exactly.
Like, you used to maybe do your work on paper, and so when you go home, you might watch TV. But now everything is done on a screen, whether it's a computer or a tablet
Exactly.
or a phone. You're just sick. I mean, I know personally, I speak to friends who are just like, I even like, you know, I don't want to play video games, even though I love doing it, because
Exactly.
I'm still in front of a screen, even though
Exactly.
it's entertainment. And the
Yeah.
same thing with TV. So, like, it's much nicer to just sit down and play with some cardboard and plastic bits and
Right.
bobs.
And I see a lot of people putting puzzles together, and he's got a
Oh,
great
Puzzle
selection
7's so popular,
of
yeah.
puzzles and things. It's like adult coloring books. I mean, who would ever think adults would buy a coloring book? But that's
That's
a
well
very
said.
good stress reliever and very entertaining and enjoyable. I know a lot of people that do it.
The puzzles are a major draw. A lot of people come just because they've seen our puzzle selection
Yeah.
from, like, pictures that we've posted
Yeah.
online.
And he's got really cool ones, and there's not 50 of one puzzle. He's got multiple puzzles.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times you go into a big toy store, and you get one choice.
Right. Like, there's like a few themes, and then you browse in the shelf, and, like, behind each puzzle is the identical
You
puzzle.
know, not so here.
No, definitely not.
It's just a hard place to describe. I see people are coming in now. I seen a sign on your window. You're running a sale or a special.
Yeah, so this sale is only running through this Sunday.
Okay.
It's buy 2 get 1 half off on all the board games and card games in the store,
Okay.
and buy 3 get 1 free.
There you go.
Next week we'll be doing the same sale, but applying to puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, and also brain teasers. So, like, single player games, you know, you're trying to figure something out. Then the following week is the big Black Friday, Thanksgiving week.
Right.
There will be something really
You
cool
always have
happening.
something special.
There,
Now-
yeah, like, leading all the way up to Christmas, every week is going to be another major sale.
Well, now I heard one of your customers there talk about she seen something on your Facebook page about some videos that you're putting on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I realize pictures are great. You know, pictures worth 1,000 words,
Sure.
but it seems like today a video is worth 1,000 pictures.
Exactly.
So every day I try to sit down with a couple of toys, maybe a board game and then a toy, and just open up the box, show you what comes in it, and then in like 2-3 minutes or less,
Right.
show you the highlights of the toy, who it's for, how it works, and then a quick review, whether I like it or not. Hint, I like just about everything.
Well, or I'm not buying this anymore, right? This is going on sale.
You can find this game at Play Favorites. It's lousy though. Don't buy it. No, this is a really good game. You should get it.
Mike, it's great. I'm going to put all the information about your Facebook page into the bottom of the story
Thank
here,
you.
and your link to your website. And appreciate everything that you're doing in our community, and hopefully we can just drive enough people come down to at least come and take a look. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Thank
I
you.
was first time I come in. I don't. You could come here 20 times and you'll see something different. There's not enough time to really peruse
That's what
the
we try to
entire
do. We
store.
want it to be exciting, like that you're actually exploring the store, and every time you come, you're gonna like look at the shelf and like, oh, I didn't notice this last time. And
Well, the last time I was here, he took me into the inner sanctum, into the back room. He's got major plans. Is that something you're still going to do,
Yes,
or am I
no,
spilling the beans?
I'm really happy you brought that up because I was gonna be like, hey, Mike, can we also talk about this? So we are setting up in the back something that I'm calling the ultimate playroom. We're going to have, let's say you've got a construction toy at home, but you only have like 200 pieces. That's great, but you sometimes wish you had like 2,000 pieces.
Exactly.
We're going to have that toy with all the pieces you could ever want. And we'll also have a board game library there, and we'll have lots of tables. You can sit down with your group, and if you'd like, I can teach you how to play the game, or you can take them off the shelf and just,
Right.
enjoy.
Great place to have a birthday party.
Indeed, and just for like, to show we have something for everyone, we're gonna have like even a small arcade back there with,
Okay.
and like some couches with some video games and things like that. Yeah, there's a time and place for everything, even though we are an analog specialty
Sure.
educational toy store.
But it's great. You just got to come and look at it. I can't explain it any better than that. Come on down. It's at Royal Plaza. It's right there next to the Mexican restaurant in the corner. Kind of look at the corner by Gordman's.
Yep.
And you can't see, it's got a big sign, Play Favorites. And you went, what in the world is that? Well, now you know. So come down to Royal Plaza, come and see Mike and his crew that he has working here. It's really cool. And I don't know what else you want to say about it, but you got to try it.
Yeah, I think that's about it. And like I said, everyone's just welcome. Come down, play, shop, whatever you want to do. We're just here, want kids to be excited to come down here and have a good time anytime.
It's great. Really appreciate it, Mike, talking to us, and we'll get back to you. We'll follow up with you as it gets closer to Christmas and see what kind of specials you got and maybe some new secret things you have coming
Certainly,
in.
we have a lot of really cool stuff coming
Right.
in for Christmas.
I'm sure you do. All right. Thanks again, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you.